I should be live right now. Hello to everyone that is tuning up to the stream. Let me see if I have all the stream info. Wait. Yeah, okay. The stream info is good. So, what I'm gonna be doing today is that I'm gonna be working on this tree. I started working on it a couple of days ago. I stopped right about at this point, and I'm gonna be finishing it, and I'm gonna be doing the texture work this time, since it's not related to my actual job, so there is no issue of NDAs and such. Can anybody in the chat let me know if anything is wrong with the stream? Microphone levels, is the music loud? So I should assume that for now everything is good enough. I'm gonna go ahead and just lower the volume of the music just a tad. Okay, so I started doing this using concept art, but for now, since I don't have the concept art that I started with on me, I'm gonna be finishing it from memory with some custom stuff and my own interpretation of the model. Okay, so for now what I'm gonna be focusing on is to add the missing branches. This tree should have leaves. It's not a dead tree, so I need to take that into account and go from there. So I'm gonna be starting with, I can do two things here. I can mask away some part of the tree and reuse it as the missing branches, or I can just go ahead and build a new ones from scratch. And I think I'm gonna be doing just that. So what I'm gonna be doing here is to I'm gonna go with the cylinder and let's see, should hide the tree itself just to be able to modify the cylinder properties. Gonna be adding a little bit of height, and let's see, and this should be good enough. Okay, I'm gonna enable the tree once again and switch to the transform tool. Maxon, the parent company that owns this app, added a new features since this app is actually used for 3D sculpture. They added tools for 3D modeling, and I think I'm gonna be using those in just a bit, just to manipulate this the shape of the branch before I start sculpting. I'm gonna switch to the model UI, and I'm gonna hold down this and convert in it so I can work on it. select the edge tool. I'm gonna do some loop cuts, and from there I should be able to do some selections over here. And I'm gonna use the transform tool to manipulate this part, maybe scale it down a bit. Also, I'm gonna be doing the same to this part. Oh, let's see. Go to the select. The actual select tool allow me to select things. Let me just... I think it's missing a few buttons on the side. You know what? Since I'm seeing some few shortcuts that are extremely useful here, I might just add the remesh one, and I might use it later. I need to just enable this, select all of those, and scale them down. I might just go ahead and move a few of those edges around just to give it a unique shape. Okay, so should be able now to start sculpting. Go ahead and finish those. I have no idea where that button should be. Anyway, gonna use the shortcut from here. So I have the basic shape of the branch. I might even just have it scaled a little bit. Let's see, so I'm gonna center it to selection, and I'm gonna scale it just a little bit. This should be good enough. I'm gonna go to the flatten brush and select the square alpha and just start hammering on it. And I'm gonna go just around and get some shapes down. Whatever volume that I'm gonna be cutting off now, I'm gonna be re-adding later, so it's fine. Just need to modify the shape of it. Gonna go get the clay brush and start re-adding some volume in the areas that needs it. I've got one thing to do is just to enable the back face so whatever I do here doesn't affect the other side of the mesh. Yes, I think that is making it a little bit problematic to add and subtract some volume from this mesh. As I said, I'm not worried about the shape too much. Just gonna chisel on it until I get what I need. So for now, it looks alright. Yo, my man. First time on the chat, huh? Gonna get it centered on selection because I'm gonna be duplicating this maybe quite a few times. Can you send me that image of the tree? I might need it to just have a better idea on what I'm doing right now. So I've placed those branches to the approximate location that I need them to be, and I'm gonna be merging all those meshes together just to be able to remesh them and link them together. And also gonna go and do a quick save. Okay, so the remesh 2, I need to set it to 128. For some reason it doesn't appear that those meshes got linked. No, they did. Okay, so should be able to actually might be even going one more on this and not do that. Okay, let's see. Nice, nice. Okay, so maybe doing is to quickly do this. Just give me a second. I need to get that image on the screen. Just a second. So this is the image that I've started with, and from what I'm seeing, I should modify the location of some of the branches, but it's mostly good to go. Might even do this. That's that. That's the other. Okay, so gonna duplicate this. And I have to move this away just a bit. I'm gonna take this one, scale it down, and rotate it a little bit. Because I'm gonna go ahead and merge those together. So I'm gonna go ahead and select all the meshes and combine them again. Gonna also go ahead and remesh those to connect them together if they want to do so. Okay, so from here what I'm gonna be doing is just adjusting those branches with the move tool. don't have to worry too much about the mesh, because as I said in the beginning, I can just readjust everything later. Just adjusting those to get to the shape that I wanted to have. Okay, so gonna get the clay brush and just re-add the thickness of the material that I've lost just now. Gonna go and run another remesh and fix the shapes that I've already have now. I'll be silently working on this for a bit, just bear with me here. I think I might need to remesh this one more time, because it's giving me a little bit hard time with the geometry. Okay, so I need to get rid of this part. Something like this. I add just a hint of separation between those two parts. It makes it look way better than it already was. But I'm running low on resolution here, so I might be topping up the res in just a second. Anyway, now that part should be good enough. Hi, Em. How's your day? I hope the delay from the message is not too high, because I think I got it to the low latency settings. Yeah, my day was lovely until now, because for some reason some of those shapes are not cooperating, but yeah, it's been good. It's been good, and I hope that it's gonna be good until the end of the day. How's the preparation for the stream later? should add another one over here. Yeah, this should look nice. For once, I'm not working on something that has an NDA attached to it. Okay, so start work on those. Just finished. I think everything is sorted. Yeah, let's hope it works without issues. We never start a stream without issues, so those are expected, but the few we have, the better stream is gonna be. Also, I've ran more tests with the controller yesterday to prepare for that stream that you asked for, so that's gonna be going. I'm gonna be streaming few games. I'm not gonna be finishing them all because some of them gonna be so challenging that if I'm gonna go and do them from start to finish, it's gonna take too much time. So I'm gonna set a hard time limit on each. Gonna go with Super Mario Bros, maybe Metal Slug and Little Nightmare. Little Nightmare is gonna take some tweaking to get right because it have more controls that it has the camera controls with the right analog stick, so I need to assign that, and other than that it should work fine. Yeah, it's gonna be fun. It's an extra stream with the fun challenge, so other than that, just let's see what Scorn is all about in your next stream, so I'm excited about that one too. Alien Isolation, that's the pinnacle of the spooky genre for me. The way they made the alien look so convincing in a video game, it's very impressive. I don't know why those shapes are not cooperating with me at all. That one should be good enough for now. I might need to add some geometry here. None of the remesh is in order. Let's see. Okay. Get rid of more of those smooth edges. By the way, just let me know if something is not going right with the stream, if the music is a little bit too loud or something. Because I cannot just tell by the sound that I'm hearing, because I've set up the microphone to go with the audio of the music. When I speak, the music should get to a little bit it should be the volume for the music should go down when I speak, so I just hope that works for it. Because I've noticed the last time I've streamed, the music was way too loud. Okay, so that's good to know. I should save this setup just for future streams. Also, I need to find some more game music that is DMCA safe to use. For now, I'm just using the JSX soundtrack. I'll check if I can get my hand on the soundtrack for Dishonored 2. I like those soundtracks. What? Here should have more volume. Yeah, that looks good. And now I'm gonna take care of the roots of the tree. So of this geometry cleans up. Close enough. So it's not exactly how I wanted it to be, but it's fine. I hope we can finish this model today. because I want it to be just a quick exercise. Also, I want to finish up quite early to catch up M stream. Let's see. Okay. Let me remesh just to have a cleaner geometry and just. This route is quite thick. Thickest tree route that I've ever seen. Gonna be just a little bit heavy-handed with it. Okay, so to clean this part, I'm gonna just use the smooth brush. Try to have it cleaned. Yeah, that's quite good. Just a little bit of geometry so when I start to shape this, I won't have a problem. I'm hoping that you are enjoying the stream so far. Also get rid of some of this. I mentioned this really quick and should be done with this part. I should have added separate geometry to work on those, but it is fine. I'm gonna try to deal with it this way. You know what? I think I have a plan. Most of those parts of the tree are not gonna be visible, mostly because they're gonna be underneath the ground. So my plan here is to try and duplicate some of them and bash them together just to have a decent look. Let's see. This. Gonna mask all this and gonna invert the mask. Let's see. Okay, that should be fine. I should split it with the mask. So now should have two separate geometries. Yep, I have two geometries. I should just duplicate this one. Let's see. Okay, this. Center the selection so I can move it without any issue, and let's see. If I get this one like this. I should actually go and duplicate them more first before I start adjusting the shapes. Because adjusting the shape shouldn't be that hard. The hard part is to have the amount that I need. So for now, I just need to duplicate this 2 more times. Okay. And for this side. And maybe one more time. I just need to rotate this a little bit. Let's see. Okay, so this part is way too fiddly. Okay, this one more time. This is the final one. Okay, rotate it one more time and move it just a bit. Okay, so for now I have the number that I need. I just need to, let's see, that one, that's the other one. Now I just need to modify the shapes just a little bit because they are way too similar for now. That shouldn't be something that happens in nature most of the time. Nothing in nature repeat twice. Nature is way too chaotic to. Something isn't right. I should save. What we have now. Yep, I was working on the wrong one. Okay. As I said, nature is way too chaotic to have the same shape repeating twice. So just touch each root just to have it have a little bit different shape than the other ones. Either way, I'm gonna be modifying them, so shouldn't be a problem. I just need to have them have the appropriate shape. You know what, I should hide all the other ones except the tree. So this one I'm gonna be adding some volume here, maybe just a tad here and here. And I'm gonna be moving this part inward like this, and this one. Okay, that's good enough. This one, you know what? For this one, I'm gonna try something. I don't know if it's gonna work, but I'm gonna try it either way. So I want to invert this. Should be able to. Should find the mirror to. Yeah. Mirror it on, let's see, on the z-axis. So mirror this on the z-axis, should be flipped. Yep, that's okay. I'm gonna center it again, and I'm gonna move it around. So it has the same shape as the other one, just flipped, mirrored. Because that will give me, I'll be using the same shape, but it's gonna be different just because it's flipped. And if I show the other ones, just to know how to place this one. Okay, move it like so. Okay, this looks good enough. I might move this one around a little bit. Good enough. So one more thing. I think I need to move this one. Let's see which one it was. I think both have the same center point. Yeah, I need to move this one just a little bit like this. Yeah, that's good enough. Now I just need to merge all of those into one single object. Yes. Gonna go to this object and fix and remesh. This should glue all those parts together, and I just have to clean them just a little bit. So with the smooth brush, I'm gonna go and find all the corners that are looking a little bit weird and fix them. Also, I'm gonna blend the shapes together later and make it look good. Yes. And I might need to find a way to fill those holes. So I'm gonna use the clay just to add a little bit of geometry there and smooth it out. I'm gonna remesh real quick. Yep, that gets rid of those. So the only thing that I need to make sure that it's looking good is, wait a second, kinda lost a lot of geometry here. Let's see. I think I lost the geometry when I remeshed those. That sucks. let's see. You know what? That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna remesh this to 320. This should give me enough resolution to work with without losing detail. As those shapes on top lose a lot of detail, especially this part. Anyway, it's not that hard to work on those. I need to clean up the geometry here once again. Gonna smooth those parts just a little tad. Okay, remesh it once again. So, flatten brush, and let's just go crazy with this. First of all, I'm gonna smooth those and rework the detail anyway. A lot of jagged edges that I don't actually need. So, using some smoothing should remove those extra details that I don't need, and I should be able to work on this. Okay, so flatten brush, and just start taking care of those parts. The first thing that I need is to make those root looks a little bit slimmer, because I made them thick, way too thick. And also I need to keep in mind that the brush intensity is distant related. So if I zoom out of the model way too much and start using the brush, the intensity is gonna be way too high, and it's gonna do some unwanted modification to the mesh. This part looks close. Okay, need to have that curvature there. Yes, look, that's what I want it to look like. Third on this side. Okay. I'm not going with the deliberate strokes. I'm actually going quite random here, because going with random strokes actually sometimes gives you the best result that you need when working on organic objects like this tree. Wood and rock are the two things that take advantage of the random aspect. So going with random strokes always give you good results. Also, I'm not going for way too realistic look. I'm going for some stylized look for this tree, so if it doesn't look convincing for a realistic tree, it's fine. Not the goal. Okay, so those two look good enough. I'm gonna have some more strokes like here. This one is also way too thick. Okay, that looks good. This long one should still be a little bit thick, it's fine. Since it's already longer than the others. Just need to give it a little bit more volume from this part, on this side. This side is skinnier than the rest. Ah, I totally forgot about this. Need to go here and enable that option, so when I add volume to one side, it doesn't subtract it from the other side. That's really important. Let's see. By the way, if you are still here, let me know whenever you're gonna start your streams, just to know when to end mine, actually. Need to remesh this. Need to clean this bit just a little. Also, I'm gonna need a little bit more geometry over here. And that bit over here. Okay, so some smoothing here is in order, I think. Yep, let's fix that part. Good enough. I need to rework some of the details that I lost in the trunk of the tree, but this shouldn't take too much because most of the details just big flat parts. The next step in this process is to add the wood grain. So I'm gonna be going through the surface of the tree after I finish this part and add through a few slits in the wood and flatten those to achieve the look of stylized wood grain. Since it's the raw bark of the tree, it shouldn't matter if I go for small details. I just need to work on the big details, because the rest of the detail gonna be achieved within the texture with images and masks and other stuff, so doesn't matter if I have all the detail here in the mold itself. That part is fine. The remesh really quick. I'm gonna need the quick rematch. Let's see. Actually, just a little bit more geometry there wouldn't hurt. Let's see. I'm gonna use the crease tool just to separate those two parts, because they are way too close. Also, just a little bit smooth in order there too. Might add a little bit of volume here. Okay, so just have to take care of this part now. Okay. Go back to the big details here. Need to add some extra geometry here. This branch got way too skinny at the top. This part is getting way out of hand now. Okay, so okay, and some to that part and remesh. Way better than it was. This part too got way too smooth. That's the issue when you remesh geometry way too much, way too quickly. you start to lose detail as each time you remesh and you don't take into account the resolution of the mesh that you assign to the remesh tool, you lose detail. Need to smooth this just a little bit. Yep, that did the trick quite nicely. Okay, so it's up to this final branch, and I can start adding the wood grain. Okay, so I'm gonna remesh this the final time, but for now I'm gonna remesh it with just a little bit more resolution. Gonna go with 360 and remesh that. And gonna save for good measure. Always remember to save, because as soon as you forget that and you make a mistake, it's gonna be way too costly. So for now, I'm gonna go around and check if I need just a little bit more adjustment before I start. I need some here. Actually, I need to go a bit closer just to not disturb the geometry too much. Just like that. Okay. So what I'm gonna be doing here is quite simple. I'm gonna use this crease tool, which I can just carve out the geometry that I have in front of me. I'm gonna reduce the brush size, so I'm gonna start reducing it until I found a good resolution that would work, like this one. Also, I'm gonna go and increase the strength to 50% roughly, just so it's gonna be deep enough to make a difference. So just let me deal with this part. I think I missed this one. No, this is better than it was. As I said, I'm gonna reduce the brush size. I'm gonna remesh this. Save this again. And now, what I'm gonna be doing for the first part, if I bring up the image here, there is a knot in this area of the tree, the flat one, that I'm gonna try to replicate. So I'm gonna go to the crease. There's few things that I can do here to make sure that the strokes that I'm gonna do are steady enough. So if I just do them by hand normally, they might not be as steady as I want them to be. Also, I want to select my model here. First of all, I'm gonna rename it because this name is quite ridiculous right now. Let me see. And I name it simply tree. So what I'm gonna be doing here is to subdivide it once, and after subdividing, if you notice that my strokes are have way better resolution than earlier. Here, if you see, there is this option that I can toggle called smooth strokes. What this does, if I increase this distance value to around 10, like this, if I start to move my mouse, you would see the teal cursor of the mouse. If I increase that distance more, like this, and I do that again, you would see a line going from the circle. What that means is whenever I start drawing, the brush doesn't follow the exact point when the pen touches the screen. It takes that position, and when I drag the pen, the end of that line is gonna be where the brush is gonna affect the mesh. So I'm gonna get that strength up and start doing some experiments here. So if I go like this, if I increase just a little bit the size of the brush, just to make it thicker, but not that much. 6% should be fine. Something like this. Okay, so I'm gonna do like this. Doesn't have to be exact. I just need it to be roughly in the shape that I want, in the size that I want. Why? Because after I add those strokes for the grain, the wood grain, I'm gonna be smoothing and adjusting the look of those to blend in a little bit more with the other parts of the mesh. So I'm gonna be adding random strokes with the direction that I want the grain to follow all around the tree, actually. Doesn't matter also if I start from the top of the bottom, I just need to have those strokes to follow a certain direction. I need also to make sure that they're not the density of those lines is not too high. Just so I can control the look of them later on. Also, I'm not gonna pay too much attention to the bottom of the tree, because I know that whatever the stroke that I'm gonna do now are not gonna be relevant if they are on the bottom of the tree. Okay. Would need some from this direction. Also, I shouldn't make big ones like that, because the thickness of those is gonna be way too much to deal with later. Let's see. Okay. Should be close enough for now, because I don't think I'm gonna go up to the thinner parts of those branches, because I know for sure that whenever I'm gonna do now, it's not gonna appear in the final texture. Those grains gonna help bringing some detail when I start to work on the texture later on, but they're not gonna provide the main detail that I'm gonna be relying on. So for now, as soon as I cover most of the trunk of the tree, the bigger spots, I'm gonna be stopping there and starting to blend those details with the rest of the tree. Okay, so for now this should be good enough. Now I just need to start to blend those details. For now also, when I'm gonna save, I'm gonna go with an incremental save just to have an earlier copy without those details, just to make sure if I do anything wrong I can go back and redo whatever I need to redo. So what I'm gonna be doing now is a little bit simple. I'm gonna look for the planar brush, this one. I'm gonna have it with a good size and just a little bit strength, and I'm gonna have the rectangle alpha. And what I'm gonna do is gonna go slowly, just reduce the strength and go slowly, and well, I think it's gonna be a problem here because the density of the mesh is way too high for this tool to work correctly. So I'm not gonna go with the plane just because it's gonna be way too strong for what I'm gonna be doing now. So to not use that, I can also use the flatten brush, as it does the same job just with more control. And I'm gonna be going around the tree and touching some places just to reduce the intensity of those lines and preserve the overall look of the mesh in the process. And as you can see, whatever surface that I'm gonna be going for, I'm not gonna be going all over it, just enough to remove parts of the lines that I added, and that would make it blend in with the rest of the geometry quite nicely. Also, it's important that I blend in the parts that connect between the different branches, the roots, and the trunk of the tree. And I should go as light as I can so I don't destroy the detail that I want to preserve. But also in the process, it's gonna be making those edges way more sharper than what I've started with, and that's actually one of the goals that I want to achieve here. Because I want the tree to look organic and yet to have some strong sharp edges. And what helps with that is that I've added that subdivision level here. Because earlier we were working under 100,000 polygons, and now we are working with around 320,000, and that's quite a significant difference. Just touch up some parts, blend the others, and go with the flow. Let those strokes guide you to achieve whatever look that you want. Also, whatever jagged edges that I have within those grooves, they won't be a problem, as funny enough, those gonna add quite a bit of good detail to the texture later on. You're gonna see that. that that roughness and jaggedness and those strokes gonna introduce some noise, wanted noise that we gonna want to have later on, because that's what gonna make it look stylized more, like if it were painted by hand. It actually is. Even this part I should touch up a little bit, just to soften some of those transitions. For now, I'm not gonna spend way too much time on this, just because it's not something that I'm gonna be using in production or something, but gonna give it as much time as it needs for now. Also, I don't want to be going late with this, because after this I'm gonna watch a stream, and I might also do some actual work that I have to finish up for this week for my main job. Overall, it's starting to look way too close to what I want it to look like. So I think we're not that far from the finish line here. As far as working on the high poly goes. And as you can see, as soon as I start to touch up the parts that connects to the branches and the smallest area in the tree, the difference between those details and the rest is a little bit small that you would expect. That's why I didn't go and introduce those lines on the thinner parts of the tree, because they actually won't be needed that much. So for now, I'm quite satisfied with the result that I'm seeing now. Might just touch up just a little bit here. And other than that, I'm gonna be going now and remesh this. I'm gonna lose some detail here just because I'm going from a higher resolution to a lower resolution. That's why I think, yeah, I think I'm gonna undo this and adjust the remesh resolution. I want to downgrade the poly count here, but I don't want to lose too much, so for now I'm gonna be going with the magic number of 420. Such a magical number. Wait for it to finish. Okay, so yep, it brought down the resolution to the third of what we were working with earlier. We were working with around 320,000 polygons. Now it's just around 100,000. So We brought down the poly count, but we didn't sacrifice too much with the detail. And now what I'm gonna go and do is to save this. If I go back to the menu, I should have two models, 3 and 3.1. 3.1 is the one that we just finished. And now what I'm gonna be doing is to send this model to Cinema 4D just to finish working on this. So for now, I'm gonna have a transition here just a second, as I have to open up the software on my end here. So I'm gonna stop this. I'm gonna open up Cinema 4D. So the software is open here. If I go to the iPad and send the model over, a window should appear here, and I should go with merge, scale of 100. That's okay. Now I'm done with the iPad itself, so that's fine. I close this. Now what I'm gonna be doing is in a game, I'm not gonna be using mesh that is this dense. This is way too dense. What I would love to do is two things. First of all, I need to adjust the middle point of this tree, because I want this, I want this tree to origin to be round around this point. So first of all, I'm gonna go to one of those side viewpoints, and I'm gonna raise the tree around there. So I would have the center of the tree, all the roots gonna intersect with the ground. I want to have that point as the origin of the tree. So if I remove this selection, I should have the tree with the origin right out there. So the next step is to make a low poly version of this tree, which is gonna be quite easy, as Cinema 4D provides us with the tool to do so easily. So the first thing that I'm gonna do is to make an instance of the tree. This object is gonna represent a copy of the tree without making an actual copy. And then I'm gonna add to it a polygon reduction modifier. What this does is gonna calculate the mesh of this tree, and it's gonna reduce it by a certain percentage. If you see here, it's reducing it with the 90%. I'm gonna uncheck this preserve 3D boundaries, because I found that it introduces some issues sometimes, so I'm gonna leave that unchecked. It's at 90% strength. 90% is a reasonable amount, because it's around 21,000 triangles, but I want to be reduced a little bit more. I'm gonna go for 10,000 polygon. 10,000 triangles are way better. I'm gonna need to convert this polygon reduction into the actual low poly mesh. So after selecting this, I'm gonna press C on the keyboards, and that's gonna take whatever result I have and change it to the mesh itself. If I hide the original model and select the new model, I'm gonna go like this and show that yes, this is way reduced poly count instead of this. So the other thing that I need to make clear, that When working on assets for games, you want to obviously have the least amount of triangles in the models just to make it easier for the graphics card to render them. But in this day and age, a lot of technologies has been developed in the game engines to facilitate using high poly models within the real runtime game. So in the old days, I would go and reduce this tree to around 5,000 triangles, like half of this, to make it work, have it work as good as it can be within a game. But now I don't have to do that. I can just set it to 10,000, even 20,000 would work, but that's what I need to do for now. So I'm gonna just rename this to 3_LP as a low poly, and for the original model I'm gonna go for _HP. I'm gonna explain why I changed the name to that convention right now. So for now I'm gonna be saving this in the other folder. I'm gonna set folder name 3. I'm gonna add another folder for use later for texturing, for the name text as textures, and I'm gonna save the file as 3. So what else gonna need to do now? I'm gonna need to generate the UVs. What the UVs are is the representation of this 3D model in a 2D plane that's gonna be used in texturing the model. So if I look here, my model here doesn't have UVs, but what I'm gonna do is to press on this cog beside the set UV from projection button, and I'm gonna select from this drop down menu the automatic packed UVs. What this is gonna do is, as soon as I press OK here, it's gonna generate auto UVs for this model into this 2D plane, hopefully. So this is the generated UVs. You might think that those don't make sense, but if I go ahead and select some of this and look here, what I've selected here is the representation of this part. So whatever I draw here is gonna be transferred to the 3D model itself. So there is two things that I need to take care of here. The first thing is that I need to check for distortion. What distortion is, I just need to hide this real quick. So what distortion is, if you look at the map of the world in Google Maps or something, you're gonna notice that it's projected on a 2D screen of your phone. Okay. Yeah, thank you, and thank you. I'm gonna finish explaining this. So if we look at the map for the world, okay, we know that unless you are a flat earther, we know that the world is round, the planet is a globe, and we take that spherical geometry and we project it into a 2D plane, which is paper, where we draw the maps on. It's the same concept here. We take the geometry of the tree or whatever model we have and try to flatten it and projecting it into a 2D plane so we can draw on it and make the texture. Okay, so the UVs that I've generated here are the 2D representation of that. And when I check for distortion, what I mean by it is, if you consider the North Pole and the South Pole of the Earth, if we look at them in the map, the representation in the map should be stretched, because when projecting a sphere to a rectangle, the poles of that sphere are gonna be stretched, Anyway, so when we see the North Pole in our Antarctica and the world map, the representation in the map itself is gonna be way bigger than the real area of that place, because the real surface area of that part of the globe is gonna be way smaller than the representation of the map. And in here, whatever place is way too stretched or way too compressed is gonna be appearing in different color than white. So I'm gonna be trying to address that here. So whatever I found somewhere where it's way too red, what I need to do is to cut a slit here. If I select some lines here and press unwrap UVs, I think it's gonna have few problem here. There's a step that I forgot to do. Whenever I use polygon detection in Cinema 4D, I have to check for some errors that might appear, and I think I have one of those here. Sometimes the process gonna generate a plane that is in the wrong place, an extra plane that shouldn't exist. So to clean it up, I just need to go ahead and delete that plane. And if you notice, the plane is whatever place that was selected after that error appeared. So I think, yep, I think it's all good. I will go ahead and do whatever I was doing, selecting a few of those lines and press this button. But this button gonna do whatever lines I was selecting. It will cut the 2D representation, will cut those lines from the 2D representations. So I selected another one, and as you can see, now they are overlapping. Those lines are cut like with the scissors, and since when the software tried to relax the mesh on the 2D plane, the result of the relaxation gonna make those polygons overlap each other on the 2D plane. So for now, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use a tool here to select few lines here to cut off this part of the mesh in the 2D plane entirely, so it doesn't overlap with the others. I'm gonna go all over this model and try to find the places where it's too red. If it's too red, it's too compressed, so I need to fix those more. So if it's kind of pink, it's okay. If it's too red, I need to fix it, like this one. If I select the line here and trying to find it here, you see that this part is way too compressed over here. So what I need to do is the simplest thing to do is just to select it here from the 3D view, select it as if it was a cylinder, and I'm gonna do another unwrap. If you see, it cuts it out from here and set it to its own UV island. We call those UV islands, as you can see. Imagine this is the sea and those are islands, so that's why we call them UV islands. I'm gonna select some lines from the center and do an UV wrap, and if you can see here, it's not red anymore, it's going white. Also, I'm gonna select some of this just to find it here easier, and I'm gonna cut it open from there to there and unwrap it just to make it white. So whatever I'm doing now is to relieve the places that are way too compressed, just to make them take their natural shape. because whatever they are way too red, if I do work on the texture later on, all those red places gonna be way too low res on the textures later on. Let me see if I find more red places that are way too red. And I think I don't have too many here, just on the roots. And the roots are themselves are not that important, to be honest, because most of them gonna be buried underground. So for now, unless I fix this place, yeah, I might cut along those lines too. Yeah, that should be okay. Now I should be able to work on the textures without having too many problems. The only thing that I don't want to have is overlaps like this. If two geometries overlap each other, it's gonna make it's gonna give us way too many issues later on. So whatever I can do to alleviate this problem. Just in this part and cut it from this to there. Okay, so what I'm gonna be doing now is to optimize the distribution of those islands within the space, the 2D space that I have here. What that does is gonna make it so we have the optimum resolution. We need to utilize as much of this space as possible to gain as much resolution as we can later on. So there is an automatic setting to do so, which is here in the UV packing area here. If I go and apply this, the algorithm gonna take those islands and pack them, rotate them, scale them until they take as much space from this to 2D plane as possible. I'm gonna run it a few times just to make sure that it got the optimum combination here. I might also change those settings a little bit. The result might not change that much here, just to let you know. But this looks okay for now. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna save the work, and here I'm gonna create the material by double clicking here. What I need the material for is when I'm gonna send this file to the software that I'm used to make the texture, is gonna need the material attached to the low poly model, because it's gonna need it treat as a layer system in the software. So I need to make a material here and name it tree underscore mat as material, and I'm gonna take this material and attach it to this model. Now what's left to do is to just export those two files as an FBX file. FBX file is a standard type of file that is used in 3D software all across the board. So I'm gonna select the low poly. I'm gonna use the script here to export it to that folder. Should be good. Export this high poly and save it there. Okay, so I don't need Cinema 4D here, so I'm gonna just close it. I'm gonna start the software that I'm gonna use for the texturing, which is Substance Painter. It's the standard in the industry as texturing software goes. There is a few. One is called Mixer, the other is called Armor Paint. There is another one called 3D Coat. There's a few of them, so what I usually use is Substance Painter right here. So now I have here the folder where my file are. The smallest one in the size is the 3LP low poly. This is the one that I'm gonna work with, so I'm gonna drag and drop this here. I'm gonna use the default settings that I always use, so I'm gonna press OK here. So this is my low poly tree. What I need to do with it now is to transfer the information from the high poly that I already made on the iPad. So what I need to do here is to bring up this window and press on this button. In here I'm gonna have a list where I need to select the high poly file that I already exported. So first of all I'm gonna change this to 496 and I'm gonna press on that button, select the _HB, not this one, it's another file from another folder. I need to 3D model and other and 3 _HB. So I'm gonna go with open. I'm gonna go down here. Why I changed the name in _LP _HB? It's the suffix that the algorithm in this software gonna use to differentiate which is the low poly file and which is the high poly file. So here I'm gonna go with LP, and here I'm gonna go with HP. So after this I'm gonna press bake selected texture. I'm gonna wait for it to finish, and as you can see it's generating quite few textures here that we're gonna use to work on the file. It's quite bright here, but if I look, I would notice that the lines from the high poly files are showing up on the low poly file. And to finish this off, I have here a few presets. The software allows me to make presets for texturing files, so I make a certain looking wood material that I can just select from this list and apply to this tree. So what I'm gonna be looking here for is sculpt wood. So if I'm gonna take this material and put it in the layers here, it's gonna go and apply. So what I need to do here is just few things. If you notice, the texture is looking all messed up here, especially the direction of the wood grain. That's because the original wood material is not facing the correct direction, which is easily fixable here. I need to just rotate a few of those sliders just to have a decent looking wood grain direction that I can use. This is all gonna be just tweaking values and such. Yeah, I still need to tweak way more values here, but for now this is gonna be alright because I'm gonna be editing some more stuff here. One of those is if I disable the wood grain texture here, I would notice that I have all the necessary detail from the original model that I need to use, which is this gray texture with the white highlights and the dark areas. What I'm gonna be doing here is just adjusting this setting to adjust this, how this texture interacts with the other colors. So if I go one by one here and see which ones are the ones that would give me the better results. if anyone used Photoshop before, they're gonna know what I'm doing here. It's just adjusting the what they call them. Let me remember. The blending type, which are quite a few blending algorithms that blends the color between this layer and this layer. I just need to select one of those that I feel that it gives me something that I can work with. I think this one should be a good one to use. Also, I can just adjust the brightness of this layer so I know how much it's gonna affect. There is those orange streaks that I might not like to have. And I think those are coming from this wood material here. There is another window that is missing. Let me see. Yeah, there is a window that is missing. And that one. The properties. And the property window is missing. So, what I need here is to adjust the scale of the wood grain itself. Because if I set the scale to 0, which make this texture itself doesn't exist, just the color of it, it's actually giving me something looking good enough. But anyway, I'm gonna need to use this texture just to add a little bit more detail for the rest of it. I think I'm gonna reset those rotations first. Set them to 0, 0, 0, and adjusting it from this one. And what I'm gonna do now is to blur this texture a little bit, just to make it blend better with the rest. Also, to take control of the color, I can just adjust it from here. Whatever I adjust it to, it's gonna change the final look of the wood. I like it like this, but I want to have it a little bit darker. A little bit desaturated and a little bit darker. So I think it's deep frying it like a meme. This looks good enough. Okay, so need to get rid of the height and normal from this one. Don't want it to interfere with the rest of the texture. I need just the colors. So to make it darker in color after this layer, I'm gonna introduce another one. Gonna remove all of this. I just need the color of it, and I need to blend it as a multiply. So what this does, whatever I change it to, it's gonna affect the tree color overall. And as I said, I wanted to have it a little bit darker. Okay. But I'm gonna want to preserve a little bit of the highlights on the details on this tree. So I'm gonna go and duplicate this, put it on top of all of this, and set it to multiply. And it doesn't look that good. Need another, find another one. So in multiply, it's way too dark. Dark and looking good, but I need to check the other ones. This one looks fairly good too, but for some reason the texture of the wood is shiny, which is really weird. And I need another layer here and just have it go as rough as it can be. Yeah, something like this. Okay. So this is resembling a close match to what I want it to look like. I might add something extra with adding some moss that is growing on top of the tree. Do I have a moss layer here? I might have some stylized one. I have an old material with rocks and moss on top of it. I'm gonna remove the rock part of it and just adjust the moss to look good on top of the wood texture. Don't need those. Just need to adjust this. So it reduced the contrast a little bit. Decrease just a little bit. Decrease this a little bit. Maybe re-add some contrast to it. Okay, this looks good. I would need to make the mouse a little bit darker color, something like this. This looks decent enough, so I'm happy with this result for now. I'm gonna save this to the same location for that project. Save it under the name tree. Save this. Finally, what I'm gonna be doing is to export those texture files and render it within a rendering software. So let's see, 3D other tree, selects the folder with the name text as textures to export the texture there, and press the export button. So I have everything in order and we should be done in few minutes. So I'm gonna start up Marmoset, which is my rendering software preference, and I'm gonna drop this model under the list, and I just need to assign the textures that I already exported from Substance Painter. So I'm gonna highlight that material, adjust some settings because those textures that I've exported are meant to be used within Unreal Engine, so I need to take care of those. And now I just need to assign each texture to whatever slot that it needs to go to. So I'm gonna drop this model under this turntable, which allow it to animate rotating around, because I'm gonna be exporting it as a video and few images for use later on. I'm gonna place it in the center. I'm gonna also adjust the brightness of the sky a little bit, maybe even use the ray tracing and adjust the brightness here too. So if I go to the camera and adjust the exposure just a little bit, I think ray tracing is not gonna be giving me a good result here, just because I need to adjust the sky itself. I need to select another sky. Too bright. Good one, but not as bright. This one is not bad. Let's see. I need one with a little bit more green in it. I think this one would do. Drop the background brightness a little bit. I just want it to be darker. Is the brightness of the sky. Might enable ray tracing again. I think without it is better actually, but I'm gonna increase the ambient occlusion strength. I apologize if those terms are a little bit technical for the non-technical people here. The ambient occlusion refers to the shadow, the contact shadow between two surfaces when they touch or are closer together. If you notice, when I increase this, the parts between the roots of the tree are getting darker. That's what the ambient occlusion means. I'm gonna set this to 15. I think this is good enough. They just need to adjust this just so the parts of the tree do not extend outside of the view of the camera. So I think this looks good. I might go back and add the leaves to the tree, but for now I'm gonna render video just like this one. I'm gonna save this to the same folder of the rest of the files. That's my man. Yeah, the difference is quite big between the initial model when you see it in the gray and when it's colored. The thing is that you need, as an artist, you need to imagine it. You need to have a vision for it and how it's gonna look in the end. That's the thing. I'm gonna save this. I'm gonna press render video here, and I'm gonna have a video that I'm gonna be posting on my social media in a second. Let's see. This video, render that. And now we wait. It's gonna take a while here, so if you have any more questions that you want me to answer before I finish up. check my resources here just to make sure that my computer isn't dying, which it shouldn't, because I paid too much for it to just die on me. So the CPU usage is fine, the memory usage is fine, the GPU usage is super high, but that's expected. So the number of softwares that I use in my work. So the first one that I used in the iPad called Forger. It's a sculpting app that is made by the simple company that makes the main software that I use for 3D work, which we go to. The second software is, yeah, I know my iPhone's gonna die. Anyway, the second software that I use is called Cinema 4D, made by the company Maxon, which also makes the Forger app. So the third software that I use that I make texture with is Substance Painter. It's owned by Adobe. And the final software that I am using here to render the video is called Marmoset Toolbag, which is used for rendering video of your assets and rendering images that you send to your clients or show to your supervisors to have an idea on how the model gonna look when it's imported within a game engine, as like Unreal Engine and Unity and other game engines. Those are the names of the software that I use. Also, if you want to have an idea on them, I'm gonna be posting this VOD as soon as I finish streaming to my YouTube, and I'm gonna share the link for the VOD with you on Twitter, so you can go back and check it out. The video is done rendering, and I guess I should check it out. So I'm gonna quit the software. I'm gonna go back to my desktop here, and yeah, this is the final result. So I think I'm gonna be posting this video in a few minutes to my Twitter and to my ArtStation profile and all the other places that I need to post this to. And for now, I think I'm done with the stream, and I'm gonna be signing off. So I'm gonna be waiting on you, to start your stream, and I will be there in a few minutes if you're gonna be starting it around this time.